to bring it up. You know, that's what the whole point of, I got it. That's the whole point of it, you know, to bring it up. We flush it out because that's what we do. That's the only way you get clarity. You know?
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Real Brothers for the real world. Welcome to our digital neighborhood. I'm TL. That's my man Guy, and that's my brother Stace.
Yo.
And we are Real Brothers. We're coming to you. We're not live, but we're not live on location tonight. But we got some great topics for you. And Stace, give us a little preview of what we got going on tonight.
All right, what's up, everybody? This is Stace, RealBrosLive. Good to see you again. Another week. Eagles got to win. Good. Go Eagles. I can say that because we won.
Yes, sir.
When we lose, I don't mess with them. But all right, look, I tell you, I'm a fair weather friend, man. I got to be honest. All right. So while I'm getting the topics out there, Terry, don't forget to please put the link out there. And we invite you to join in. Click on the link, and this will get you the opportunity to join in on the conversations with us on the air. All right. Here are the 4 topics. Why does everyone else unify except us? Then we have Ahmaud Arbery. That's the situation with the guy that he was shot while jogging, the black guy shot while driving. That trial is ongoing now. Then we have Cuffin season. And then there was some interesting news that happened that caused us to come up with this last topic. Who killed Malcolm X then? Question mark. All right, Guy, how you feel, man?
I'm feeling all right, man. I made it to see another day, man. And, you know, it's always a pleasure to hang out with you guys. So,
all right, nice.
Here. Let's get to it. Now, listen, I want to tell all the listeners, thanks for joining us tonight. We have a awesome show lined up for you. So, you know, keep your ear to the ground. Let's get busy.
Yep. And like you said, please click on the link and join us to talk about these topics. All right, Guy, we're coming to you first, man. Where we going? Give us some direction, man. Where we going?
You know, I like the Ahmaud Arbery situation. I like.
Hey, wait, whoa! Got to interrupt.
Oh, random.
Yeah,
random.
I got a random tonight.
We were gonna skip it.
Random tonight, bro.
We were gonna skip yours. We were gonna skip it. All right,
man. I'm out of here, TL, with that bullshit. All right. Now, but here we go.
All right.
My random tonight got to be the Rittenhouse thing, man.
That's
got to be the Rittenhouse thing, man. We got to touch on that if we don't touch on nothing else tonight.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I saw that when I saw that, you know, those not guilty verdicts being read, I actually expected it, but on the inside, man, I cried on the inside, like because it just goes to show the level of, and you know, like I said, it's not a racist thing or anything like that, but it's, you know, truth is truth, and it just shows the level of white privilege in this country. Because picture Rittenhouse, last name being Johnson, right? You know, not, you know what I'm saying, a black man or something like that. You know what I mean? That would have never, that trial would have never went like that. Not in a million years. Not in a million years, man. And another thing that it kind of has me a little bit apprehensive now, because they have just set a precedent for people to go across state lines with all of the ammunition and artillery or whatever that they want, go to a protest and claim that they're threatened. Like, oh, I'm walking in with my gun, but I'm threatened. I'm the one that's threatened, so I get to open fire on whoever got something to say. That's gonna be really bad, man. That's a bad look. That's a bad look for our country, man.
Yeah,
I look for America,
actually, Knight, I have to agree with you. I was hoping we touched on it last week. I was hoping that they would have found him guilty of something. I thought they would come up with murder 3. I knew they weren't going to do murder 1, but I thought they would get him for manslaughter. just to
they
say
didn't even get him for taking the gun
gun
across
charge,
state
right?
lines. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro.
And it almost seemed like him dropping the judge before the jury went to deliberate, dropping the gun charge was setting the groundwork for him to be, found not guilty and everything. Because at least you could have got him on a gun charge. Now, he did say, correct me if I'm wrong. The judge said the reason the reason that he got dropped the gun charge was that he indicated, or he thought that the AR-57 can be looked at as a long gun, which is almost, I mean, this I thought that I heard that's what he said, because like a long gun, there are technicalities in place where if you have a long gun, it's almost like a hunting rifle. They're a little more allowed. So if in that state it can be classified as a long gun, then young people can have them.
But Stace, I got one of those, right? Well, it's a different name. I got a High Point, right? 40 cal. If I go out in the streets right now, and people gonna be looking at me like I'm crazy, right?
Absolutely.
And then somebody come up to me and try to either ask me a question or disarm me or whatever, and I shoot them. Am I going to jail? Probably
so. I know. I agree with you. I agree with you. I like I said, I really, that when they dropped the gun charge, that was unnerving. Guy, what's your thoughts, man?
I wasn't surprised. It didn't take me aback. I expected it. This is America, bro. This is America. To expect anything else, I think we're fooling ourselves. We're doing ourselves a disservice. I think it's harmful for us to think that America is going to do the right thing in certain situations like that. So I wasn't surprised. It's what I expected. The judge was racist. There were 11 white jury members, 1 black. This kid, he threw out them fucking crocodile boo-hoo tears like he was having a conniption or some shit. I think the world knew he was going to get off. But then, you got to look on the flip too. Like, one of them dudes that he murdered was, I believe, had 11 sexual assault charges levied against him or something to that effect. So
yeah, somebody said that.
It's justice.
But that's besides the point.
See, but right, yeah, but we can't see. And on this note, though, I agree with Terry. I think that that what we're doing is open the door for vigilantism, and that's what we don't want.
The door been open for that.
I mean, what happened in that trial is nothing new that hasn't happened in America before. As far as the long gun situation, yeah, I think in a lot of municipalities and jurisdictions, the long gun rule goes down to age 16, some places age 14. So, and when we saw that happen, we already knew. I mean, you heard some of the sidebars the judge had. You heard some of his commentary while the jury wasn't around, or in preparation for the case and throughout the case. You knew this guy was a racist. You knew that the instructions that he was giving the jury were going to be more in support of the defendant than of the state. So I wasn't surprised. I knew. I didn't know. I can't say I knew, but I was prepared for that verdict. I expected that verdict. Had something different happen, I would say, oh shit, America might be turning the corner. America ain't turning the corner. We where we've been at. And so
that's the whole thing with what I keep screaming, man. Things ain't gonna never change. We've been doing the same shit for too long. Protesting that, marching for that's not going to solve anything, man. That's not solving one thing.
I don't agree with you on that.
The only way that we're going to have change is if we get the people in office who can change these laws, who can like, they won't even change the lynching. They won't even pass the lynching bill, bro. Like, if they won't do something as simple as that, and keep this in mind, Democrats are in office. I mean, Democrats are running the government right now. Right. And if we can't get Democrats to pass a lynching bill, they pass the Asian hate bill.
See now, I agree with you 100%, Terry. The way that we make change. Now, I disagree with the marching part. Let me just say that. But the only way, unfortunately, the Democrats are in charge at the federal level. Unfortunately, a lot of these laws that are passed, especially gun laws, are at the state level, and a lot of those laws, a lot of those state houses are run by Republicans.
But the same thing, Stace. The same thing. We see. Only thing that we vote in the presidential election,
right? Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
But we have to put people in office.
Locally.
Our people,
correct,
in office locally.
Well, that's why they say that all elections are local, but unfortunately, they don't have the glitz and glamour like the federal election, like the presidential and the Congress election. So we don't come out. Agree. I agree with you.
We need this is how it happens. Party is what we need, to be honest. To be honest. I mean, if those crazy ass people with the QAnon and all that can put people in office, why can't normal people?
Well, actually, we don't need our own party, because we know that when we show up, we win. But the problem is, like you said, we don't show up. So if you have your own party, you're still not going to get it if you don't show up. The problem is we don't participate at the levels that we should enough. That's the issue. When we do, we win.
Right.
That's proven. Proven. I mean, and fortunately, I'll say there are enough people that have that view things the same way that we do, so that we can win. Because even if we're still only 13% of the country. So to branch off and say that this party is only for black folk, then no. And then you take your 13% with you. If someone hears that and say, "Well, I'm not black, I can't go," you're not going anywhere then, because you only
say a black
13%.
Political party. I said another political party. I know there's there's as many white people who feel
absolutely
like the system has to change.
That's right. Agree.
As me, but
agree.
There's a big but in there, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because our people have to come together with themselves before we can really have anybody else come together with us or representing us or anything like that. We got to get it. I hear it all. We got to get our own house in order.
Absolutely.
You understand what I'm saying? What you think, Guy?
Right.
As far as our own political party,
everything.
Yeah, like all of it, man. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I think, and I know we're going to leap into this topic in a little while, which is unity. As long as you have individuals, I think it's nearly impossible for every person in a specific group to unify behind a single cause, because you're dealing with human beings and we're all different and we all got different ways of thinking, different ideas. But as far as it goes with the case and the young fella that walked away from facing these charges, he's white, bro, and he's got privilege in America. No matter how you may think of it, you are exactly right. If that was a black man who had traveled across state lines, got his mom to drive him over there, and he was a minor, and he murdered 2 people and maimed a 3rd, he would be under the jail. They would have roofed him. We know that. Right. But I do, like I said, have to disagree with you, TL, on the point where you said marching don't do nothing, and that type of organizing doesn't do anything. I have to disagree with you. I think it does do something. If anything, at the very least, it brings awareness to a thing. There's a Thurgood Marshall, God rest his soul, the Honorable Thurgood Marshall, stated, "When you see injustice, point it out, do something about it." Right? Quote from Thurgood Marshall, from our Supreme Court. I believe he was the first Black Supreme Court judge in the United States. And so to say what you're saying almost says that man is wrong, that we don't have to point out what's not right or what's not fair or what's not just. We have to point out what's not
point out
just.
You're misinterpreting my statement, though.
Going out to protest, to stand up for what you believe is right, to ensure that when something isn't right with that you see and you witness, that you do point it out so that it doesn't happen the next time. So that person that committed that aggression against somebody else is not able to do that again in the future. So I think it's extremely important that we do stand up and we do show solidarity on that front, regardless if we don't believe that we see immediate change or immediate progress. I think at the very least, we still have to point it out. And part of pointing it out is going out on the streets, standing out there, telling people, screaming from the rooftops, getting on your soapbox, doing whatever you need to do and being vocal about it and pointing it out.
Right. I do agree with that. When I say that it's the time for marching and protest is over, what I mean is we've been marching and protesting the whole 1900s, 2000s, all that, right? We have been marching and protesting for years and years and years and years. So they know what the problem is. They know that there's a problem. So if marching and protesting was effective, then the first 100 times that we did it, we would have gotten. But
I think.
Let me finish. All right.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. No, go ahead. I think what the part that we disagree, I think, and we touched on it one time before. The progress that we made, a part of the attention came to those issues as a result of marching. Now,
it had its time and place.
So okay, but then if that's the case, then you could even talk about Trayvon Martin, all of the more recent shootings, there were protests, and that's how Black Lives Matter formed. And as a result of those things, now you do have some even listen to this part. As a result of Black Lives Matter and some of the more recent shootings, you have jurisdictions talking about reforming the police as a direct result of those marches. Therefore, if you extrapolate on that, we believe that the marching, the protesting is still relevant. The time is not over for that. That's the part that we disagree with.
But my thing is, if remember when Trayvon Martin was killed, and that was like one of the biggest marches ever.
Absolutely.
That was a big one, right?
Yeah.
Didn't change a thing. Because if it did, then you wouldn't have George Floyd. You wouldn't have Ahmaud Arbery. You wouldn't have Breonna Taylor. What I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying to stop bringing attention, but what I'm just trying to say is marching and protesting is not going to change our problems.
Well, then how do you suggest bringing attention then?
They are bringing attention to who?
Well, when you said, you just said, you're not saying, stop bringing attention. So then if you're not marching and protesting, how do you propose you bring attention to an issue?
You gather up people.
That's called a protest,
and unite and vote. And vote people and put out. All right.
But what we're saying though, Nike, is that what you just described, aka protest. I mean, you're right. That's what protest is. You all right, get your sign together, everybody, let's meet. But this is not a protest. No, Nike. That's a protest. That's what we saying. So you use those.
I'm talking about like marching from
So get your sign together. So this is what you saying, Nike. Let's bring in an issue. Let's bring some awareness to this issue. Get your sign. Let's stand here together. Let's get your bullhorn. Let's talk about it, but don't move. Because once you walk across the street, now it's a march.
Who are we bringing? Who are we bringing the issue? Who are we bringing attention to the issue to?
Well, then let me answer that question. I'm going to answer it. I'm going to answer that question by turning it back on you. When you said that you're not against bringing it,
answer that question for me.
Nike, I am. Listen, when you said you're not against bringing attention to an issue, you said that, right?
Right.
You're not okay. Well, then who are you talking about bringing the attention to? When you said that, who are you referring to? Who are you referring to?
You can't answer a question with a question.
All right.
Who are you referring to when you say you're gonna march and protest to bringing this attention? Who?
Everyone.
Like, who don't
everyone.
know? Who don't
everyone.
know
that's the start of political. That's the start of political attention. That's you bring the news media. That's bringing the attention. That's shining a light on that issue to everyone. Because once you protest, once people gather in mass, the news media comes. Then the politicians are saying, "What are they all? What is everybody out here for?"
After that? What happens after that?
Well, it galvanizes people. In theory, it galvanizes people, and then it points direction. And okay, these are the laws that we need to vote on to address this issue to make sure that it doesn't happen again. God, what were you about to say?
I got a question. My question is for Terry. Terry, what happened between the Million Man March that you attended and today to make you believe that a march like that, or any march in between there and now, is not effective, and there's nothing that comes out of it, that is worthless? What made it? Because
I didn't say it was worthless. I said it had its time, but now it's time to do something else. You know what? Wait, let me finish. You asked me something, so let me answer.
My question was, what changed between then and now?
What changed?
Between then and now to make you change your opinion on what a march is and how effective it can be? Because you went down to Washington, D.C. with a sign, a million brothers, and you stood.
I've been to a couple marches. I did.
Right. So I want to know what changed. I just want to know what changed between then and now to make you.
What changed is what changed for me. What changed for me is that there was no change. That's what changed for me. And the thing is, a person, if you do something over and over and over and over again, and you get the same result, and you expecting change and get the same result, then you got to look in here and say, "Damn, I'm doing the same thing, but ain't nothing changing."
But did you know that all I know that offhand is the Minneapolis police department, they're defunded. Now, and I think New York was talking about doing something, reallocating.
New York lost a large portion of their budget for their
correct. Right. So the point is, though, had people not hit the street and brought it up and made it an issue, though, Minneapolis would have never done anything. Minneapolis is where the George, that's in that area, right? It's St. Louis, and now they, so therefore, is that nothing then, Nike? Is the fact that the Minneapolis,
it wasn't nothing.
But you just said that, that's not what we're talking about. The question is that nothing? Because you said nothing has changed. So it is something. But we just told you that as a result of everything that happened the last 2 summers, the Minneapolis police department has been defunded, and the New York police department has lost part of their budget. So is that something or is that nothing?
In the grand scheme of things, that ain't shit.
Well, we disagree on that then. See, but the whole point, but wait a minute, but how do you say that, Nike? If your position is defund, do you think that the police department?
No, it's good. Okay.
So that's because the last podcast night we talked about this one of the podcasts in the past, right, and your position was no, that's not what I'm talking about. The other thing that we talked about in the other podcast is we were talking about reallocating funds from the police department and get more of those funds put into mental health. You think that's good, right? Yeah. So if they defunded the Minneapolis Police Department and then to use your term, part of that is going to go towards more community policing. You saying in the grand scheme of things, that's nothing? That's what you're advocating for.
Yeah, but in the grand scheme of things, Stace, when I say I'm looking at the overall picture,
so
I'm not looking at little. I'm looking at the.
See, that's the difference.
How's that wow?
Because
has that made us any?
So let me ask this:
equality or equal justice? Answer my question.
No, I'm about to. But nice.
I haven't let me ask the question.
But I'm smart. I know you, so I know where you're going.
But you don't know what I'm about to say.
All right, go ahead. Okay, go ahead.
You ain't let me ask. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. All right.
Look, this is where we bump up to the conversation that we go back to. What if say out of the 50 states, 50 of the states say that, 25 of those states said we're going to defund our police departments. 25 out of the 50. It's not all of them, but it's half of them. But based on your definition, though, that's not enough because that's not the whole.
Right.
That's where the see again that no change. Go ahead, guy.
Here's what I think. And as you know, regardless of what I think or what you think, TL, or you think, Stace, we have an audience, and I think we owe it to our audience that if we say something like, because I know a good bit of our audience does believe in protesting, they do believe in marching. I believe in protesting. I believe in marching. I think it's one thing to say that you don't agree with it. Boom. I appreciate that. That means a lot, and I can understand that. My question to you
I didn't agree with it. I said it's time for that to be. That's not the solution. It's time for us to stop.
That's it. Okay, so you just supported exactly what my next question is. So right. I think what we owe to our listeners and to ourselves, if we say something isn't the solution, we need to present what the solution is. So what's the solution? What's the alternative to marching and protesting?
For us to get together and unite and put people into office that can change laws at a local level.
So you advocate for voting. So voting is the alternative to marching and protesting.
Yep. Voting and unification.
So let me ask you a question. So boom, riddle me this, because now you just walked into this rabbit hole. How do you think you got the right to vote?
I said from the
How do you think you got the right to vote?
From marching and protesting.
But now you're saying we shouldn't march and protest because that's not the solution.
I said there was a time for marching and protesting for that. That time
gave you the right to vote. If you didn't have the right,
and I appreciate it. I'm not saying that it was
the ability to vote right now.
I didn't say that marching and protesting didn't have its place. I didn't say that it wasn't.
Terry just saying that.
I said for right now, what the things that we're marching and protesting, that's not going to do anything for us.
I'll say this, and then we're going to move on. My position is like to split the difference is that marching and protesting is not the only answer. It's part of the answer, because of course I agree with you 100%. Like the other part of that answer is voting. Right. We march, we protest, we vote. So again, my only thing is that the act of marching and protesting, that time isn't over, but it's part of an answer. Right. And there are other things that need to be done to go along with that. All right,
and I'm gonna tell you what part of our situation, part of our issue is as well.
And then after this, we're gonna run with our first topic, guys.
So this is, all three of us have three different ideas, and we're all independent thinkers, right? We need some kind of consolidation that we can all come to the same. The thing is, even though all three of us have different ways to get there, we're all, like you said earlier, before we started, we're all trying to get to the same destination.
Right.
So that's the important thing.
Right.
So for us, what I think, in my personal opinion, is Black people got to stop quibbling over the small stuff and start just coming together and put our differences aside and say, let's just get this done. You know what I mean? Like let it's just a lot. It's so much to be done, man, and nobody's really.
All right, now I think you put it up here. The net said it. Marching and protesting is not the solution. It's a means to bring to light to the masses the issue. So when the masses should unite and put a solution into place. So yeah, that's exactly what we say. And I just want to read this other one too. Tell our people to vote for them questions as well. Straight Democrats. Oh, okay. I guess what they're trying to say is, it's simply a person has, because they have a D behind their name, doesn't mean that they can't be questioned. If that's what they mean, if that's what they meant by that, I agree with that as well.
Hey, whoever that is, why don't you come on and let us know what you're talking about?
And while we do that, all right, guys. So we're ready for the first topic, man. And you said you wanted to talk about Ahmaud Arbery. What is your thought on that, man? Well, what do you?
I think all three of the defendants need to hang. I think they need to swing from a tree. I don't think. I think they chased that man down. I think prosecution at one point, and I think I saw the prosecutor question one of the defendants, and he made it very clear that Ahmaud Arbery was not a threat. He didn't possess a weapon. He didn't even say anything to those guys through that neighborhood. So just that testimony alone tells me that these folks, they sought him out. They had an intention. They carried it out. And now the test is whether or not America is going to say to to American citizens that it's okay to do that. If that's the case, I think that's when that lynching bill will come into place because I think that was an actual lynching. I think that man was frightened. He was horrified. They shot him several times. They videotaped it. They ran down on him. They trapped him. That's akin to a lynching. I think that's a modern day lynching, similar to what they did to Bird down there in Florida when they dragged him and tore his body to pieces. These are people who their humanity is in question. I don't even consider folks like that. I think they're the people who we should call subhuman. That maybe are
absolutely.
These are devils. These are evil people with evil intentions who never had anything good on their mind when they did that. So my thoughts on Ahmaud Arbery killing, the murder, lynching of that black man is it's an opportunity for America to say, you know what, lynching black folks is not cool, and we need to, I think that if America says, through its courts, through its jury system, that that's not something that we're going to tolerate and stand for. I don't know if I would applaud the decision, but I know that I would certainly feel.
You wouldn't. Well, you said you wouldn't applaud. What's the decision?
Because it's the right decision. It's the right decision. It's like justice. Render unto Caesar what belongs to Caesar. It belongs to us. That's justice. I wouldn't applaud justice.
There's a lot of shit that belongs to us that we ain't getting.
See, no, I would applaud that though.
Or Arbery case, and just in that case, I think they owe us justice, and if they don't, I think what America is saying to black folks is it's okay to lynch your ass.
Yeah.
Well, they just said that they just kind of said it with the other trial.
Well, you know what? Let me say this though, Nike. I think that the only reason that there wasn't a larger uproar with this case that just happened with the young guy was the fact that he didn't kill black folk. But I unfortunately, I believe. Let me finish this. If they don't find those three guys, or at least if they can say this is the person that pulled the trigger, if they don't find that person guilty, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem. If
that's the case.
You say what?
I say shit gonna burn if that's the case.
And I'm not saying that should happen, but now you're talking about the anger of people overflowing. As we talked about last time, there was a lot of gray in the last case with the young guy. There was gray there, and he didn't kill black folk. But this one here, like God said, they followed him. He was no threat. He was going in the other direction. He didn't pose a threat at all. He didn't pull a gun. He didn't say anything. They hunted him. And I listened to one of the father and the son. I listened to him on the stand, and he talked about how when he followed this guy, he followed Arbery, Ahmaud. I'm sorry, Ahmaud, the name wrong. Ahmaud. He followed him, trying to talk to him, as he said. While he's doing that, his father's jumping into the back of the truck. You know why he's doing that? Come on,
right?
Because we know that if they didn't have that gun on them, they wouldn't have had all that heart to approach that young man that way. And here they were, older people. Right. We know that. And so the fact that they did that, so the fact that they did that is because they hunted him because they had a gun, and if he showed any resistance, they knew what they were going to do. He didn't show resistance, and they did it anyway. They hunted him. If they're not found guilty, there's going to be a problem. What are you saying, Nike?
What I'm saying is like, the thing is, so they always stand behind. They're always standing like. So one thing we all know is that the criminal justice system is not set up for us at all, right? So they always using self-defense as an excuse to do whatever they want to do. But when we're the ones that's scared, we're the ones that have guns pulled on us and all of that. Like, so what is different now than back in the 50s or even the 1800s? Like they have all the power right now. Like that's why I say we have to unify and change. Like even with this is this is an open and shut case for real. So, and it's taken. I mean, things just ain't the way they're supposed to be, man. And like, how long do they expect us just to sit back and be cool with it? It's starting to be a lot. It's starting to be too much. You know what I mean?
Well, actually, Mike, you're going back to the earlier conversations. Folk aren't sitting back being cool. That's what the whole marching and protesting, that's what I did. Be sitting back being cool would be to not march and protest, to not, as God said, to not get in the street, to not have the signs, to not
I'm not saying not get in the street.
I'm
saying marching and protesting is not changing the so
no, I'm not addressing that part. Huh? I'm saying when you said we're sitting back, people sitting back and not doing anything. And what I'm saying is that when people hit the street, that is their way of, that is them speaking. That is people speaking. I mean, actually, Nike, marching and protesting is a form of unity. So when you say that, we didn't get to this one, when you say, why aren't, we united, that is the personification of a march and protest. I mean, it is. We didn't finish the last one, but I mean, that's people getting out of their comfort zone, getting in the street, standing up to police, standing up to to the system, saying we're not gonna not do anything. We're gonna stand here.
Let me tell you.
And not only that though, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna defer. Not only that though, by definition, and that's why they call it civil. Not civil unrest or not civil unrest, but that they're breaking the law, the civil disobedience. The whole point of a march, Nike, is to because in order to have a march, you're supposed to have a permit for it. The whole point is to get out in the street, stop traffic, and break the law. To say that we're not standing up, we're not going to stand by and allow this to happen without saying anything. So that in itself is folks saying something. My fault for cutting you off.
They just all right. So now, if we have to get out here and march and protest about the Ahmaud Arbery case or any other, because something else is going to come, is guaranteed. Mm-hmm. So now, a precedent has been set where these folks can now come to any demonstration, any march, anything, and they can say, "Oh man, there was a lot of them out there. I was scared for my life."
Yeah.
And then what? Now what?
Yeah, that's the
you
problem.
Understand what I'm saying? Yeah, so the thing is, that's one of my all right. Like,
see, but I think what this is what becomes tough. I mean, and you do, and this is a tough part as it relates to the law when you talk about precedents, because you can't judge a person, and I guess this is towards you, Guy. In a court of law, you can't find a person guilty if you're saying we need to find this person guilty so the next person won't do it. No, we have to try a person based on the laws of this particular case. So if there's but if he can legally have a short gun in that state, and that's what he had, and as Guy said, the legal age for owning a short gun in that state was say 16, and he's 17.
He wasn't from that state.
No. But see, but what I mean, what I'm trying to get at is this is where it becomes a tough one, because as I said before, I agree with you. I think that unfortunately, I feel like they're almost setting a precedent, but you can't judge him based if he didn't break those laws. You can't judge him and say because the next person might say they can do the same thing. You can't do that. You can only judge a person based on the laws and the way that their defense.
I don't understand what your point is though. Like,
Guy, you understand what I'm saying? You want to chime in, man?
I understand what you're saying, and what I gotta say to that is, listen, it ain't where you from; it's where you at. You are bound by the laws of that jurisdiction. Period.
Right.
And so that being the case, whatever the laws over there in Kenosha, Wisconsin are, those are the laws that govern that case, and that case is based on the totality of circumstances
that day.
Surrounding that incident, that whatever it was, and that jury found, based on the totality of the circumstances, that man was not guilty. Listen, I thought the fix was in from day one. I know that the rule has to be applied to the facts, and they applied the rule to the facts based on the instructions given by the judge, and because of that, they found that man not guilty. I wasn't surprised. The laws are, kind of written for white males in America.
Right. And because right, for instance, so if I go next time they marching in Kenosha or Milwaukee, whatever, if I take my joint down there and it's a bunch of folks down there with their guns, man, I'm scared of that. You know what I'm saying? So I can just go ahead and light it up, right?
Don't do it.
I'm just saying.
I understand what you're saying.
According to what the rules are, right?
Right. Yeah.
Am I misinterpreting that?
No. I mean, if the laws in that state say that you can't own a gun, if it's an open carry state and you're carrying your long gun openly and it's legal, and then someone approaches you or you shoot them, then yeah, you should be able to say, I fear for my life.
No, not really. Why? Because there's a difference in the circumstances, and the difference is that man's skin is black, and
that's what I said. Right. That's the challenge. That's going to be the issue.
You'll never have an identical situation to that man, unless you can change your skin and you can change what your race is or your ethnicity. That's when it'll change. Otherwise, you're black. So there's a justice system for black folks. There's a justice system for white folks. Your skin color is going to determine the amount of justice you get. And I'm going to tell you like this. My mentor has told me, if he told me once, he told me 100 times. If he's ever standing in front of a judge, he would much rather his skin be white than black.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So if that's the case, then why don't, if there's already a separate justice system, a separate political system, a separate financial system already, then why don't we create our own? I don't
your
understand.
Own what? What do you mean, like your own what?
First we got to agree with you. I don't agree with you.
Right.
I
don't either.
There's a separate justice system, but those other systems, you can't just lump them in because I said I agree with the one thing.
Right.
I think I agree with all those things. I agree with the separate justice system.
Okay. So there's not a separate financial system?
Not a separate system. No.
Your money. My money green just like yours. Right. My coins jingle just like your coins.
Right. It's not a separate system. No.
It's not separate. It's just not owned by us.
It's not owned by anybody.
No, we don't. It's not owned by any. We don't have the
we have a Black Wall Street, and they have a Wall Street. Our Wall Street is gone. That's my point.
No. It was still part of the same system. That's like saying that 52nd Street is a separate nation. No, 52nd Street is a bunch of stores that may be owned by black folk, but they're still operating within the financial system of the whole of America's financial system. So it's still the same system. Even when we had Black Wall Street, it wasn't separate.
I was just addressing your question of if you went to Kenosha and you had a long gun and you committed the same act that Rittenhouse committed, would you get the same justice? And my answer to that is no, because there is definitely, based on the numbers, based on the statistics, based on the disparity in sentencing, based on the disparity of black folks versus white folks incarcerated, there is definitely, it's well defined, a different justice system if you are black than a justice system if you are white. If I go to a store though that sells M&Ms and they're $1, they're going to take my dollar the same as yours. They're not going to say,
you're looking at this.
I need you to pay $2.
Right, but God, you talking about M&Ms. You're looking at this, right? I'm talking about financial structure, right? I'm talking about financial institutions. I'm talking about lending. I'm talking about.
It's still not separate, though, Knight.
It's not a separate
system.
It's not.
Is it applied differently? Yes, but it's still not.
That's my point.
Okay,
it's like the law. It's only one law, but it's applied differently. I mean, that's the thing. Black people, we deal in semantics. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's only one financial system, but it is.
No, this isn't semantics, Terry. This is fundamentals.
Right.
Fundamentally, we are based in the same financial system.
Correct.
Fundamentally, there are two different justice systems.
Right.
Fundamentally, there's only one justice system, but it's applied two different ways. Fundamentally, there's only one financial system, and who? All right.
I've studied criminal justice now for 9 years. I'll tell you, there are two justice systems, period. Period.
Yeah, and again, I just don't think that the answer, because I think that I'm a person that believes in you make change from within the system. As we said earlier, you learn the ways that system work, and you get in there and you make change. Because if not, you know what'll happen? You'll be forever running. You'll be forever running. You'll go from one point A, point B. So that's like saying, if the mortgage companies start doing things that weren't right based on your house, you're just gonna move. No, you're gonna fight them. You're gonna hire a lawyer, and you're gonna say, this is my contract that I signed. You're not gonna put me out because I've upheld my part of the contract. Other than that night, we'd always be running. We'd be running from one to the next. No, the way that you make change is you take a stand and you fight within the system. And that's what has been happening to get us to this point now. You fight within the system. And that, as God said earlier.
The system, like, if you go into a fight, right, and you know that there's basically no chance for you to win that fight because it's fixed.
But there's always a chance, though, Nike. I mean, there's always a chance.
So you in there trying to get a lucky punch.
No, there's always a chance. You just have to know how to fight. You have to know how to operate within that system. That's like, okay, if that's like going to court without a lawyer. No, you get a lawyer and you go. I mean, that's to imply that you don't know anyone that beat a case. I'm sure you know plenty of people that beat cases. We have to know and learn how to fight within these systems. That do we always get the outcome that we want? No, but we don't pick up our stuff and say, check it out. No, you fight within that system.
Because we don't have a choice.
See, that's where we disagree, though, because I don't think that you just leave and say,
I didn't say leave.
You said create your own. Then if that's the case, you create your own. You get out of one and start a new one, right?
What
is that? What you're saying? Get out of when you say. Go ahead.
When I'm talking about is changing laws, uniting and changing laws at the basic level. That's the start.
Well, when you say changing laws, though, Nike, that's what I'm saying. Fighting within the system to change the laws, not creating our own. Earlier, you said create your own financial system, create your own party. That's leaving one and starting a new. That's the part that I disagree with.
What's wrong with that? What's wrong with leaving one and starting a new one?
My position is that you fight within the system. I don't think that you just every time something doesn't go the way you want to, that it's incumbent upon us to take our stuff and leave and start something new. No, I think that in most instances you state your ground.
Even though that same system is already rigged. It's like playing a game of Monopoly, right? If you're playing a game of Monopoly, and let's say Guy is the banker, and he owns everything already, right? So now I'm trying to get around the board, trying not to land on anything, and everything I land on, I'm fucked.
Right.
So why even play that game? I'm trying to get to another game. Fuck Monopoly.
So in other words,
I'm gonna fuck that game, and I'm gonna play Monopoly on with my folks.
So in other words, you saying pull out of everything, but then you're not talking about. I mean, if you're talking about unplugging from, you're talking about pulling your way, using your example, leaving that Monopoly game and go playing Trouble. Then you're talking about not existing in this country. That financial institution, that game is the way that this political structure, that this financial system is the way that this country operates. The political structure, the financial system, the judicial system is the way that you move and the way that you exist in the United States. Now, if you're talking about unplugging your house from the electrical grid, then you're talking about getting your energy somewhere else completely. You're talking about completely unplugging. If you're talking about existing here, you need to know how to move in these institutions. No? You disagree with that?
Nah.
Well, somebody said don't quit, and that's what I say. Well, so hold up. So let me see something. Stacy, so stay begging for equality, and wait a minute. So Stacy,
even if we move when we move the way we should, Stace, like your example, when we move the way we should in this game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do we get treated like do we get treated like as that we're playing the same rules as everybody else?
100% of the time, no.
Okay.
So, well, okay. See, but again, now we're bumping up against the. We keep coming back to this, but okay. Okay, go ahead.
No. I was just going because Guy ain't said nothing in a minute, so I was just going to see what his.
What I was going to say is what I got to say is the way that you can tell that there are two different justice systems is this. The Dred. Are you guys? I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but maybe it'll ring a bell. The Dred Scott case. In that case, Justice Tawney stated clearly that the black man has no rights that the white man has to respect.
Right.
Since the Dred Scott decision, from that day to this, that verdict has never been overturned. That precedent has never been overturned. There are definitely two definite and well understood justice systems in America. And our justice system itself dictates and tells us that there are no rights that the black man has that a white man has to respect. So there are two, it's defined. So I just want us to put that out there just so we know that this is something that's broken down forever and eternally broke. There are two justices. I think we need to move on to the next.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Right.
What I like to move on and see where we go from here.
All right. Any last words, Nike? But yeah, we're gonna slide on.
Nah,
Was there something? I'm good. All right. So we got let me see here. Let me go back up. We got cuffing season, right? We got I lost my place. What was the other ones?
You know what the other one was.
Why does everyone unify except us? And who killed Malcolm X then? Terry, what's up, man? We want to go with it.
Well, you know where I want to go.
Malcolm X?
No.
well, actually, we kind of just hit on the unity thing, right?
We can skip that. We can skip that.
No. Go ahead. Now, I asked you, so let's go. Let's go. Go.
No, we can skip it. I know you don't want to get into that, but
you go.
Fuck it. We gonna get into it.
Get into it. Right. Okay. What's up?
Y'all ain't want to lighten it up a little bit?
I had put up a question. Why does everyone else unify except us? And there was some mixed feedback from it. You know, some people said that other races, you know, they're not united. And then you got people that said, you know, given the reasons for why we're not united and things like that. So I just think that I raised this question because of the exact thing, like how we're going back and forth on the podcast. Like everybody has different ideas, and but we're not unified on one solution. You know what I mean? We can't get the lynching bill passed. I mean, so that little shit like that shows me that we don't have the unity that we need to make change. Anybody disagree with that?
Well, though, okay, even at the last sentence that you said, we don't have the unity that we have to make change.
That we need right now to make change.
Right. See, and I disagree with that. I think because personally, Nike, to be perfectly honest, for me to say, I agree with that statement. To me, I would feel like I'm being a victim. That would make me feel powerless. And I never think that I'm powerless to make change. I always think that I can make change. But here, just hearing that, and additionally, I disagree with the premise that first of all, that there isn't some unity in our community. And I also disagree with the premise that the other races or communities are unified. So those three instances, especially the one where it talks about we can't make change, that just it does something to me, because I always feel like, me personally, that I'm always in a position to change, to make change. I
didn't say we couldn't make change. That's not what I said.
Now, are we where we should be? No. I agree with that wholeheartedly. But I don't think that we're not, and I think that we're in the perfect position to make change, as I see that we're doing. Can we do better? Yes. Would I like to see it happen faster? Yes. But I'm okay as long as we're moving forward incrementally, which I use every podcast. What do you thoughts, guy?
I think listen, first, the statement itself, why does everyone else unify except us? I got to take exception to that statement, period, because I think that's making an assumption about us and us not unifying. Because I know for certain that I see unity everywhere I go all the time. I see unity. I see just from the people I interact with every day, the people I talk to every day, the people we represent at my office every day. There's unity. Like I think to put that word out there and to make that statement like that, I think what we're saying is something that's almost impossible. Why does everyone else unify except us? I think what we're implying in that definition of unify is that we need all Black people to unify for the same cause. When what the truth of the matter is that will never happen, because we're all individuals. We all have our own thought process, and we all have our own means to get to an end. And so we could throw that question out there, and it could apply to every race, every color, every creed, every ethnicity, because not everyone in every one of those groups is going to unify for any one particular cause. So I have to take exception to that statement and say, no, I see unity everywhere. I see unity all the time. And I do believe that Black folks do unify, maybe not to the degree that everybody wants to see, or, the potential. But I do see unity, and I think, and I'm proud of the unity that I see, and I try to bolster that unity and amplify it at every opportunity that I get. I'm out in the streets, I'm talking to folks, I'm building relationships, and that all, supports unity. So while we may not have it today, we may not have it tomorrow, we may not have it eternally, full unity across the board with everybody in our race, I do see unity, and I think that I
see our unity as a work in progress. We
Agree.
don't have unity right now. We don't have unity right now.
Actually, Knight, but Knight, those two.
Our unity is a work in progress. Like,
so, therefore, go ahead. I'm sorry, Knight.
What I'm saying is, okay, so just my example is, all right, take Asians, right? They were able to come together to get their Asian hate bill passed like that, right? Black people, we can't even get the anti-lynching bill passed.
That's not for lack of unity. That's not for lack of unity.
Right.
It kind of is.
That's not for lack of unity.
But if we had people.
That bill has been on the agenda for years. That's not something new. The Asians were able to accomplish that because our established government, right, sees Asians as more human than they see Black folks. It wasn't because there's a lack of unity.
There is a lack of unity, because if we were unified, that bill they would have no choice to pass that bill. You get what I'm saying? Because we would have more representation.
But I think what you're talking about now is prioritizing. I think when what bill are you going to scream and what bills are you going to yell and scream for the most? To have that anti-lynching bill passed, or you're going to go out there and pound the pavement for police reform? Because but again, there
has to be either or.
Well, no, not in all instances, but no, but in some instances, yes, because everything can't happen all at once. Because again, as you talked about, okay, put it this way, Knight, we all come together and vote on a person to put that person in office. So you're going to tell that person do everything on day one, or you're going to say, this is the priority. We want you to focus on that and get that passed. And I'm not saying ignore the other one, but you have to prioritize. You can't do everything all at once. You can't. No one can.
So the lynching bill, you don't think it should have had passed already?
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, no, what I'm saying is it's a matter of prioritizing. Again, and I'll ask you the question.
That thing has been on, like Guy said, that has been proposed for years.
Okay.
And it hasn't been passed.
Okay.
And Democrats have been in office. When Obama was in his office, when Obama was in the office, that bill didn't get passed. Of course, it's not going to get passed with Agent Orange in the office. So, all right. For one thing, with when I say unify, I'm just talking about coming together and having our own. I'm not saying have a separate country. I'm saying we need to not be dependent on other people's priorities. We should have we should be focused on our own priorities. No, that doesn't make sense.
No, I agree. You vote for the person that's gonna represent your interests. No, I agree with that. You're not gonna get any disagreement with me from that. You're not. What do you think, Guy?
I think there's unity in our community. I got to stick with that, because to say otherwise is going to disqualify a lot of work that a lot of people do in our communities to better our situations and to provide opportunities for folks that look like us. So I do think there's unity. If there was no unity in our communities, we would be in a much, I believe, worse state of affairs than we are now.
Right. I agree with that.
Cuffin season.
Cuffin season. I was about to say that. All right. That's a hard term. All right. Let's get into that. Well, first of all, Guy.
Yo.
Define cuffin season for us, please, and then we'll get into it. I mean, what when we say cuffin season, what are we talking about? Carl said change the season, change the subject. All right, go ahead.
Cuffin season is can be defined as the time period between summer, when you did all your hot girl shit and all your bad boy shit, and winter, not even winter, but between summer and pretty much tax season. So I think that's pretty much the time where you gotta pick your mate. You gotta pick your mate, because you gotta be settled down with somebody. Ain't nobody outside for you. You're gonna need them good sandwiches and that hot soup over the summertime. You're gonna need that little cuddle buddy and all that, or every now and then you're gonna need your little sneaky link and all that shit. But I think cuffin season is the point in time between summertime, when you gotta put your clothes back on, and wintertime, where you can't go outside, and you gotta have something in line.
So is it a real thing though? I mean, is it? Well, actually, oddly enough, I would have to say that I hear people talking about it. At first I thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke.
What's that, cuffin season?
Yeah, I thought it was. See, but I think
I was wondering why he put that Bo Derek. He's like Bo Derek running on the beach.
Who got
that slow motion John? He was like,
with his dreads flying.
All he needed was some braids. He was on that John like.
No, what did he call it? What did he call it? No, what's the term for it? A trap. A thirst trap. Yeah,
put them Johns out every now and then.
Yeah,
let it go. I know he working with it. I mean,
that's a nice little stroke to my ego. That's a little ego boost. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And the DMs get crazy, and my text messages start wilding out. Even my phone ring a little. I'm like, invitation here. So I do that. And not only that, listen, bro. I'm 49 years old. I don't know how much more time I got to show off this Adonis type body that I
have. He's trying to move that BDE. Yeah, he's trying to move that BDE.
Hey, listen, you stay bringing that up.
I said that term one time. I
like that term. I use it all the time. I like that term.
You got that kind of
energy. But go ahead.
Yeah, I love that term. I use it all the time now. That's
if you got that kind of energy, you're going to demonstrate that kind of energy. It's a natural type of energy. It's not something that the faint at heart will have. It's not something that shy brother going to have. It's not something listen. That's something for brothers that know It's what it is. Like
you walking in the supermarket with that BDE, boy. You like, man, let me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yo, man.
Listen, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. Now, I don't really prescribe to cuffing season because I ain't got no girlfriend. I don't want no girlfriend. I'm really cool with being solo. Like, I really love my life. I love myself. You know what I'm saying? So, but I do enjoy dating and all that kind of good shit.
I didn't know it was a thing.
What, cuffing season?
Yeah.
But that's because you married or some shit, right?
Right.
Yeah, and plus I'm like
ain't
a hermit.
This ain't y'all.
I ain't in the clubs no more. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. Somebody said
supermarket work.
Somebody said, but you have to be careful during this season as well. Now, now I would wonder what they talk about. Are they talking about something specific? What do they mean by that?
Come on and let us know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Somebody said cuffing season. Let me see. Cuffing season is only for grown folks.
Carlos said that.
Carlos said that.
Tell us what you talking about.
Listen, right? Yeah, I think at this point that's everybody. I'm seeing all ages talking about it. You know, I mean, but you know what though? To be honest with you, what's wrong with it? You know, like God said. I mean, if that's what you feel like doing, and your situation affords you to do that, what's wrong with it? You know, it's all about like you said, man. You know, life is short. And if you want that company because you know that you're going to be in the house and you still want to be social and you know that you're not going to be out in the street in the snow and all that cold weather, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, see, like you said,
between two adult individuals.
Absolutely.
3 or 4 or whatever, because you could be into the party. You got
3 or 4
lined up. All y'all laying in bed together. You know what I'm saying? It ain't right. Between 2 adults. It could be a bunch of adults. Who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute now, Lynette, come on. I have always felt negatively about cuffing. Now she's going, okay, why? Why? Let me see. See, if you're not going to come on, you have to let us know why you said that. Let me see here. The next person said, hold on, what did they say?
So when the summertime come, the cuff get unlocked. Is that what y'all saying?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Yes, right.
That season, that's a wrap. You ain't listen. That whatever girlfriend, boyfriend you had in your mind up until after tax season. Once that money run out, it's hey,
y'all don't grow a bond. Y'all don't.
That's what I was gonna ask you though. Yeah,
y'all don't grow a bond during that time.
I don't know about a bond because I haven't built many of them. I haven't been in many relationships. I'm single, you know what I'm saying? But I do understand the concept of cuffing season. I've seen it in practice a number of years. And you know, one day there's going to be somebody for me that comes along, and I probably will cuff and do all that kind of good stuff. But for right now, yeah, I haven't participated in that activity. I don't, I'm focused on what I'm focused on. I'm focused on Black people. I'm focused on being out there in the streets. I'm focused on providing education for the folks in my community. I'm focused on, running an expungement clinic. I'm focused on teaching some know your rights and know your systems classes somewhere. I'm focused on, talking to the education attorney and trying to make sure that she can come along with me for the ride to the shop talk so she can provide a workshop for Black folks in that community. That's what I'm not focused on cuffing. I'm not focused on a chick. So I don't want it to be thought of that he's just a single dude just running around doing this and doing that. No, I got a whole lot going on. And y'all I'm sure y'all know it because it's a lot of times where we, in the middle or in the mix getting ready to do something, I'm like, yo, I got something else going on. I got to do this. I got to do that. But as far as cuffing season, yeah, it's a thing. And, people engage in it. They indulge in it. It probably was a time like 25, 30 years ago that I engaged in it. But right now, my thing is if the right person comes along, then yeah, I'm all in and that's where I'm at with it. And until then, I stay away from the whole cuffing season. And then one reason why is because without an understanding, there's no reason for a misunderstanding. So I don't really get into that with nobody.
Married folks don't do the cuffing thing, right?
Y'all already cuffed.
Oh yeah, handcuffs.
Your wife, that's your cuff.
Handcuffs to the. No,
your wife is your cuff.
I'm just saying.
Right. All right.
Yeah, your wife, that's your cuff right there.
All right.
Okay, what's he say? To me, it's a using situation. So. Looks like who's that? Lynette said that to me it's a using situation, but Lynette, I think as long as to what Guy is saying is there's an understanding.
Be using him too,
right? I mean that's what I'm saying. As long as there's an understanding. Now, if you're out there lying, that's different. If you're telling someone we're gonna be together, knowing that come April when you hear the first birds chirp, you're gonna be out. Now that's different. But as long as there's an understanding, like Terry said, I mean, you're using that person for what you want also because you're probably not out there either. So I would she give it a link. What?
Yeah, somebody said cuff for life, T. Damn. LOL.
All right,
It's all good.
It's all good. All right, we're gonna bring on
Shice.
Yeah,
Shice, you know the deal.
Wait a minute.
All right, y'all can't get no camera. I'm cooking.
Okay.
Y'all can't get no camera.
That's one of the requirements. You got to be on camera. That's one of the requirements.
Come on now.
Yeah, you can't let you on without no camera.
Sorry, Lynette.
Then y'all gonna have to hang up on me then.
No, we let you go this time because we normally get you on camera, so we let you slide this time. All right, what are your thoughts?
All right, so I had said I'm gonna keep it short. That I always viewed it negatively because to me, with cuffing season, so I always view cuffing season as right after Halloween, right, or starting right after, like right after school starts, right?
Right.
Because it's getting cool as soon as fall hits.
Yeah.
So now you preparing for, holidays. The holiday,
Right.
you want Thanksgiving dinner with somebody, you want Christmas with somebody, New Year's, and then it fades off right before Valentine's Day. Because
right before Valentine's Day.
Yeah, they dip off. They'll stick around.
Flowers, you won't go out for dinner and all that. No.
Yeah. So exactly.
Start my hot dude summer.
Right after New Year's, I'm telling you, it starts. That cuff starts falling off, and to me, that's a using situation. Unless you approach somebody and hey, listen, we know what this is. You down? I'm down.
Exactly.
And and I'm not gonna say that cuffers don't catch feelings and it turns into something else. But the people that routinely do this as a way of life every year, I find that to be a using situation because 95% of the time, I bet you they're not honest about it.
Not the 5% we know.
Those are the unraggedy ones. Those are the ones that ain't raggedy.
How does that conversation go though? Like when you meet when you meet a queen,
female, a lady. Hey, you know a queen.
I personally call it friends with chemistry. That's what I call it.
Go.
Okay, right. So, but I'm saying, like, how do you have that conversation? Is it like, hey, sexy, you know what I mean? You want to bust it up for the winter, you know what I mean? I
think that your motives, you put your motives and your intentions out. Like, listen, I ain't really looking for a serious relationship, but I want a companion. I want somebody to partner up with me during, holiday events and whatever. Like, I ain't looking for nothing serious, but I'm feeling you. So let's feel each other for as long as this lasts.
Right. So with that being said, though, as long if you put it out there like that, then there's not a negative, right? Because you have the option to say, no, I want something a little more long term, or I'm good with that, right?
As long as both parties are on the same page and agree to it.
Okay.
Listen,
but when you coming in and you sliding in on that whole, I'm feeling you, but you never tell them I'm only feeling you for the fall and winter, boo.
But I think the thing is, when a lot of people get involved in those kind of, relationships, those seasonal relationships that we're kind of talking about, I don't think it's some people that go into it with the idea like, you know what, right before Valentine's Day, I got to cut this off because I'm not doing all that flowers and teddy bears and going to the spa and dinner and all that, rubbing feet and all that shit. But I think, so I don't think there's necessarily men and women that say, okay, we're only going to be together for this amount of time. I think they go into it, with the genuine thought to really pursue a relationship. It just so happens that when the weather change, people's attitudes change and their needs change. You know what I mean? When the weather change, and now you can go
then the beach babes come out. The beach babes come out.
Undress. You can see some tennis skirt. You can see the midriffs. You come on, like, listen, God gave us all eyes, and we're gonna use them, Jones. And it don't matter where you get your appetite from, as long as you eat at home. So if now your eyes are distracting you to something else, or you're seeing something else, is for so many people, it's like, you know what, I ain't gonna leave this person on no more. It's the end of that. But
I don't. What you just described though is not quote unquote cuffing season. What you described is the attempt at a relationship, but you just, like you said, when your needs and your priorities change, I'm no longer interested.
I'm going to inject here. Earlier guy said that You know, when you want that sandwich and you want to get fed and you want to cuddle.
Uh-oh.
So, and then I also not too long ago heard a male make statement, you know, hot beach babe summer is over. Get yourself a good woman. Like what the?
Wow!
I almost said the F word.
Wow. Who said that? That was that?
I don't listen. I ain't putting people out, but
oh
no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't said in here. No, it wasn't said in here.
Oh, okay.
No. But I mean, I've heard people say, you know, I've seen memes. I've seen all kind of stuff where they're saying, "Get yourself a good woman. Get that real woman for the winter time."
I've seen that.
So what's the real woman? The woman that got the place and the food and the, you know, that'll feed you and take care of you.
Listen, I don't know what the real woman is. I know I enjoy a good sandwich. I enjoy a good meal.
So what? Your beach babe can't make you a sandwich?
Whoa,
that's the midriff.
That's the one thing about that's the one good thing about getting married.
You know what? That's kind of where we're going though, guys. I mean,
what's the question again? I couldn't hear the question.
Go ahead and ask.
I wanted to know what the beach babe and the bikini and the midriff and the sundress. She couldn't make you a good sandwich.
Shit, listen, let me tell you something. It's one of the most attractive women I've ever dated or been with. Matter of fact, I was engaged to her. She made the best damn sandwich on the planet. She decorated my house around Christmas time. One year, she decorated my house in her fucking elf suit. It was amazing, right? So no, they can make good sandwiches. I ain't taking nothing away from them. No, not at all. They can do all the same things I ain't say it had anything to do with looks. I don't know where that came into play. I didn't say that it ever had anything to do with looks. Now I did say a sandwich, and that's because me personally, I enjoy eating. I like a good sandwich, and I think it's true. I think the saying holds true. The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So if anybody ever, and this is, you know, I'm putting this out there. If anybody ever want to cuff me, you know what I mean? Make me
Hey, all right, Lynette.
Thanks for that.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Thanks, good. Thanks, man.
Take care.
Appreciate you.
Good, girl.
We really appreciate you. All right.
All right. Yeah. Let me see here.
But I can get me a good sandwich.
Right, yeah.
You know what I mean? I can get a whole meal.
So you get a sandwich, you say, you know, this the one for me. You cuffed it, you good.
Yeah, I'm good.
That's what you do. You find that one, then you in there like swimwear.
But my let me see. Well, I can't speak on all women, but I'm a real woman all the time. Okay, I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I think when you said get yourself a real woman, when whoever said that. No, whoever said that. I don't know who said it. I think that's what they respond to. Somebody said, "Oh my God, guy, oh you so crazy." Who said that? Was that Shice?
That was Carlos.
Oh, Carlos.
She said,
"Oh my God." Okay, wait a minute. Good night, Miss Stevens. All right, so what we gonna do, y'all? It's quarter after. We didn't hit that last one, so we're gonna push that to next week. We missed one, didn't we?
We did.
Yeah, the Malcolm X.
Malcolm X. Right. Okay, we'll start out with that one next week. All right. So Terry, in closing, man, what are your thoughts, man? In closing, I'm just saying we need change.
Uh-oh.
No,
closing.
We need change. We need unity. Unity equals strength. I always say it till I'm blue in the face. Strength equals power. And the only way we're going to get change is to have that power to make change. And we have to be unified to do it. That's all I'm saying, man. You know what I mean? It ain't that hard, actually.
All right. God, we're going to go to you. Then based on what you do, I'm going to come in next. All right, God. Set the bar.
Go ahead, God.
I just want to say, listen,
set the bar high as shit,
Go ahead. Terry, let God set the bar, and then if he set it real high, we're gonna let you get another chance too.
We're gonna let you go under it. We're gonna let you do the limbo.
All I want to say is, listen, Real Brothers Live, our brothers who are united. Although we may disagree from time to time, please understand that we are united in the furtherance of the Black agenda in America, period. Even though some of us may think there are different ways to get there, we believe that there's an opportunity for us to all have a meeting of the minds and move forward in a way that will have a positive impact on ourselves, on our community, and on the nation and the world in general. And I just want to say, and I say that because we are the people, power to the people, and we are revolutionaries. And because of that, there's power in that. And so I just guess in closing, I just want to say power to the people.
Yep. And I'll echo what Terry and Guy say. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. I got the shallow part. We hope y'all enjoyed everything. Thanks for those that came on. Don't forget you can check us out next week, same place, same time. Also, please check us out on YouTube and subscribe to the site. You'll be able to catch us up on all of the platforms. This one will probably be up probably tomorrow or a couple of days afterwards. Tomorrow morning. Please stay in contact with us, y'all. And thank you very much for joining in.
Thanks for hanging out with us in our digital neighborhood, and we really appreciate y'all.
Guy, you have one last thing?
One last thing before we go. I'm not going to tell y'all what's going to be in there, but I want y'all to look out in WHYY News on Monday and Tuesday. You're going to see something that I think is special, and also be on the lookout the week on the 29th and the 30th in the Philadelphia Inquirer. So just keep your eyes to those two periodicals, those two newspapers, the Inquirer and WHYY News. You should see something really fly coming out in the next day or two.
And we'll remind you on the group chat. We'll remind you to check it out. All right, y'all. Thanks for joining in.
Peace.